I've told bits and pieces, but honestly, I didn't feel like my story was worth telling, if that makes any sense. I
I
felt,
get it. I
yeah,
get it.
I was like, a lot of people are navigating motherhood. A lot of people have lost their moms and are, trying to just keep that motion going. But for me, it was truly impactful. Like it really changed the trajectory of everything in my life from
Y'all, it's your girl, Tiffany Rochelle here. I just need you to do me a super huge favor, if you will, please. It ain't gonna take but a moment of your time. I need you to go to my website and I need you to grab these pickups right behind me. If you want to enhance your life and you want to better your life, or if you want to give it as a gift, go on and stop by my website and go ahead and grab a book. This little journal that's going to be right here, that's going to help you get some of your thoughts that's in your head out on a piece of paper. Express your feelings and talk about how you feel. I choose me. That book, that's definitely going to help you show the importance of why you need to choose you. It's okay for you to be selfish. And last, go ahead and grab Goal Diggers. Help yourself set some goals and go ahead and get things that you need accomplished. It's time to get those thoughts out of your head and take action on it. These are action plans that you can make actionable. All right. And also, if you want to, go ahead and allow forgiveness to be your journey and we'll get on that road. So go to my website and we'll get it taken care of. Grace and peace. Overall. But I know when I saw you in the group and when you put your blurb out, I was like, oh, she talks good. Oh, I like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I just took a chance and I was like, God has been telling me to, kind of come from behind the shadows, like really tell my story. And I've told bits and pieces, but honestly, I didn't feel like my story was worth telling, if that makes any sense. I
I
felt,
get it. I
yeah,
get it.
I was like, a lot of people are navigating motherhood. A lot of people have lost their moms and are, trying to just keep that motion going. But for me, it was truly impactful. Like it really changed the trajectory of everything in my life from going from one to three to four kids. Like it was a game changer. It was a mind blowing moment.
Uh-huh. Did
uh,
mom pass away before or after you had the kids?
she passed away. Uh, She passed away when my son was 7 months.
Okay.
So my
Okay.
son was 7 months.
Mhm.
And then she didn't get to see my last little one I have now.
Okay.
But I feel like I was telling one of my friends the other day, I feel like I was so consumed with grief.
Mhm.
That's how God wanted, and my mom wanted to bless me with having another baby because she looks just like her. She,
Really?
yeah, she's got the personality. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a
Oh.
bad thing sometimes, but she do.
Blessing and a curse. Hello.
Yeah, and so yeah, my mom passed in 2021, and I just had my son that March of
Okay.
that year, and she passed
Okay.
in September.
Okay. Do you think that that's impacted you in any kind of way as far as like you being a mother? What was your guys' relationship like? Was it a good one?
Um, it was a good one, but it wasn't perfect. If that makes sense. There
Yes, it
was
does.
areas that we still needed to work on.
Mhm.
Because my dad had passed away when I was 2.5.
Wow. Okay.
So it was just my mom and
Mhm.
my stepdad, but my mom was the dominant one.
Yeah.
Like she was mom and dad.
Mhm.
She was very stern,
Mhm.
very strict, didn't take no stuff. Wasn't as affectionate as I would have liked.
Okay.
Wasn't as verbal as, good job, you're doing a great job. It was more so, oh, you need to fix this, this, and this, and this.
Got it.
And so those were some things that I realized as I got older, went off to college, and then had my oldest daughter, that I wanted to show her, like, you could still be stern, but you could still be loving.
Absolutely.
And so
Balance.
balance, yes. But Holy Spirit, like one day, I want to say it was last year,
Mhm,
I was cooking or cleaning or doing something in the kitchen,
mhm,
and I was doing something with the kids, and then it kind of just dropped on me that my mom had just lost my dad.
mhm,
She was dealing with grief while doing
mhm,
parenthood. Like she was trying to navigate parenthood. She was trying to
mhm.
navigate those things without her husband, you know. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, I know how she feels now.
Yeah,
Because I'm trying to navigate parenting for these multiple kids with all different personalities,
yeah.
and also, you know, experiencing grief and learning how to like navigate that.
Mhm,
And so that was like a eye opener for me
mhm.
earlier this year, that
Uh-huh.
like I gave her more grace now
Beautiful.
because I understood how she felt while
Uh-huh.
trying to navigate
Mhm.
all of that at the same time, because it's a lot.
It is. It can be a lot. Let me tell you what's something funny to. It's not funny, but it's ironic. I'll say it that way. It's something about that kitchen ministry. Okay, I don't know what it's about. Rather, it's you in the kitchen washing dishes, you cooking. For Tiffany, kitchen is a ministry. I don't care if I start praying in there, I'm gonna start dancing in there, I start singing in there. It's something about that kitchen that helps me to get some type of breakthrough. Because it just seems like the world just opens up and it's just like I feel like, okay, grace now can abound for certain individuals. Or oh, I should have said I owe so and so an apology. You know, it's
Mhm.
just something about being in that kitchen that cooks up something that's like, you know what? All right, I'll forgive you. You know what? Whatever happens. So when you're telling me you were in the kitchen and you got this revelation, I'm like, it's the kitchen. Something's in the kitchen.
Listen, I think because, you know, let's just be honest, we're there most of the time
Mhm.
and we can't go nowhere else. So that's when I feel like the Holy Spirit's like, okay, you can't go nowhere else. So let me drop this in your spirit
You
right
in
now.
here. You in here.
Let me give it to you right now because you can't go nowhere,
You
and
can't,
you're going to get this. You're going to get this whether you whether
you
you
can't get
want it
this
or not.
work, huh? You can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. But I'm in this kitchen. So I'm gonna
Right.
take this. I got you.
Yeah. So I that's my analogy.
I
You're
got you.
you're
I got
there
you.
and you can't go nowhere else. So he's gonna
You
drop it to you there.
it's here. I got you. I am not mad at this. Tell me this. If today, what would you say that you are thankful for?
Oh, um, I am thankful for peace.
Mm.
On like truly, I feel like I finally, after about it'll be 4 years this year in September, I've finally gotten peace with knowing my mom is gone. Because I didn't have that for a while and it was very hard navigating her being gone, me not fixing things like I wanted us to, not me having the support that I always thought would, you know, would be there way longer than it was, you know,
Mhm,
with being here with the kids. And so it was a struggle
mhm.
um, when she first passed. And then I had to kind of just go straight into, okay,
Uh-huh.
keep going. The show must go on.
Uh-huh.
You know,
It definitely has to.
yeah. And for a while, if I'm honest, you know, I was mad at God. I was mad at him.
Mm.
I was like, why'd you take her? Like she was my mom was like a legit great person.
Okay.
She would give you the shirt off her back.
Oh.
She might fuss at you a little. You know, she would give you some tough love, but she was very giving. She was and she loved my oldest daughter. That's who she got the closest bond with before
Mhm.
she got sick.
Yeah.
She would take a whole day off of work just to get her, like to spend time with her. So
Was that her
eh,
first grandbaby?
that was her first grandbaby, yes.
Oh,
Because I'm an only child. So that was her
okay.
first grandbaby. And it was a girl. So
Oh.
she loved, I mean, she had her own set of clothes there. She had a bassinet there. She had a stroller, a
Uh-huh.
car seat. Like
She had her own over there.
she had her own over there. Like I
I'm
could just
just
let
coming to
her,
get the baby. I don't need you for nothing. I got this.
that part right there. And so it took me a long time to get peace with that situation. And I remember crying out to God last year. Had to been November, December, and I was like, God, I can't have another year of
Yeah.
how I felt this year and the
Yeah.
previous years after her passing. I was like, I have to surrender all the pain, the
Mm-hmm.
anger, the what ifs, the woulda,
Mm-hmm.
coulda, shoulda. You know, I had to release all of that and just be at peace that I know she was with God because she had a relationship with God.
Good.
She believed him. She knew there was no way my mom would have made it as far as she did without God after my dad died.
Okay.
You know, and so I had to finally come at peace with it. And this past Mother's Day was the
Mm-hmm.
first Mother's Day that I was not swallowed down with grief. This was the first Mother's Day since my mom passed. I was not swallowed with grief. And I was just like, oh, thank you, God. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I was
Uh-huh.
just like, thank you. Like, I was able to then celebrate me being a mom and not feeling guilty that, you know, I wasn't celebrating my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that I finally came to a place where I have peace that my mom is gone. And not to say that there aren't some bad days,
Mm-hmm.
but there hasn't been as many bad days this year so far than it has been good
And
days.
years previous,
So
right?
yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. I'm grateful for peace because listen here, that peace is something that we all need a piece of peace.
Yes.
Okay.
Always like keep it in your back pocket.
Straight up, I promise you, I need to keep like right here. All right, let peace be around me. Listen, I need peace. Okay, I need
Yes.
it at all times.
Yes. You
So
need
I
peace when you a mom. You need peace
do.
because sometimes the kids it just, you know, and
Mhm.
I didn't notice it until really until we had number four. Like
Okay.
everybody is different.
Uh-huh.
Every single one. And I was like, oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Everyone needs a different part of me all at the same time sometimes.
Mhm.
And then I need
Mhm.
a part of me too. And then my
Mhm.
husband needs a
Yeah.
part of me. And I'm just like, well,
Everybody needs.
there's nothing left for me. I am
Uh-huh.
drained.
Uh-huh.
And so you definitely need peace with having kids. I didn't know it would be that much until number four came. Like, and people were like, you didn't think that with three? I was like, no, I didn't think that with three, but when four came, oh baby. I was
For the
like,
world heard. I see. I stopped at 3, so I don't know what it's like. And now we're empty nesters,
uh,
so
uh,
it's like a whole new world, and all the different phases that happen during kids growing up with some. So I understand that needing peace because when they're babies, I felt like they needed me, and it was easy for me to get some me time because when you taking a nap, I get a chance to clean up the house. All right, I know you're over there and chill out, whatever. And then they got up a little bit and like, all right, wait, where'd you were just right there. Come back here. Like you so there's little pieces. And then when they got into like their preteens, teenage years, it's yeah, like, hey, you want me? Like, hey, do you know I'm around? So now you don't really need me unless you need me to take you to the store or you need me to take you somewhere. And then they got real grown and then they didn't really need me anymore. So it became optional. And I'm like, where's my phone at? Let me call you and see, hey, how you doing? Can I call you back? Call me back. What you mean call me back?
See, I'm not ready for that. But I do remember that phase. I do remember that phase. And my oldest, she's 10. So she's
Yeah.
like almost preteen,
Mhm.
but she still loves, you know, it was just me and her for 5 years. So we have
Wow.
a very close bond.
Yeah.
So I don't, and then there's sometimes when she just wants to be by herself without
Mhm.
us, without her siblings. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you all right? You okay over there? You know?
Don't you know me?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm ready for that phase, but I'm not ready for that phase.
Well, see, it might be a little easier for you because you still got a few extras underneath. So when she's starting to bleed off from you, it's all right. I got 3 more. That one bleeds off. It's all right. I got 2 more. So to a degree,
You're right.
so it might be a
I
little
got a little
easier for you. Mine are I have 2 they consider Irish twins. They're the same age for 4 days, and then I got 4 years apart. And that's my baby boy. But now they're all my oldest is 27, and then the baby is 22. So like yeah, nobody need me anymore unless they just, like, hey mom, can I have some gas money? Or hey mom, I want to get a burger. Not even then.
yeah. So I've got 10. I've got Irish twins too. 5 and 4. So
Okay.
for like 21 days, I have the same age.
Wow.
COVID time, we had too much fun. Way too much fun during COVID. Okay.
Hey, you needed something to do, baby. I got you.
um, and then, like I said, I have my last little one
Uh-huh.
that came in 2023. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
So yeah,
that,
but we're
that,
done. We are
I,
done. We're
I
done.
understand. Over it. Not
Chopper.
happening anymore.
I do now. I will say I do love the baby phase.
Yeah.
I love the smells, and
Uh-huh.
like you said, they can't go nowhere. They just sit right there. They
They're
sleep.
right here. You need me. Oh.
Yeah, and I had me and my husband had a joke because every
Mhm.
time we have a baby, he
Uh,
always hogs the baby. The baby is
oh.
his,
Uh-huh.
like baby face is his, and then I'm around, taking care of the other ones. I'm like, but
Mm-hmm.
that's supposed to be for me. This last one
Absolutely.
to be mine. And
Mm.
she's a daddy's girl. She looks
Oh,
at me like,
that's
I guess
funny.
I'll go to you, lady. But where's my
Oh,
daddy? Like her
yeah.
face
That's because
lights
he's
up when her
gone.
daddy comes in, and it's me like,
Oh,
okay,
that's cute though. See, I absolutely love that. I think that is so adorable. I love when girls are daddy girls. I
yeah.
absolutely love. Now, growing up, I didn't appreciate it, but looking out and when I get a chance to look at people and living life, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That's just so so
It
adorable.
is. It is.
Mm.
And I pray that they keep that bond that way because they really do have a tight bond. They do
Mhm.
have a tight bond. She will leave anybody to go to her daddy in a
I ain't
second.
mad at that. That's a good thing. That's absolutely a great thing. So I know you shared that you lost your mom and you're actually a mom. Well, not actually, but you are a mom now. How did you find peace and joy through these rough times? What was it that you did to transition and to find your peace during these painful seasons? I guess I should say.
I think for me, I had to um surrender. um I think the big thing for me was the things, questioning what I could have done better as a
Mhm,
daughter, what
mhm,
I could have done to fix things.
mhm,
Maybe I should have apologized more, like the enemy would bring up things of situations that happened in the past that
mhm.
I didn't really handle that well. Or maybe, like you said, she would
Mhm.
call me, and when I was in college, and I'm like, I'll call my mom back later, like
Yeah.
I didn't answer the phone. And so me just accepting that she knew I loved her,
Mhm,
that she knew I was there for her.
mhm.
Because when she got sick, we end up moving further away
Oh,
than we were. Because I'm originally from South Carolina,
wow.
Charleston. Then we
Come on.
moved. Then we moved to
That's where I'm at
Durham.
now. Hey.
Oh, are you in Charleston?
Uh-huh.
Ah, listen, I love me some Charleston. We come home at least once or twice a year.
Okay.
Because now we live in Columbus, Ohio, so we
Mhm.
live in the Midwest now, and
Wow, okay.
ooh,
Okay.
yeah,
It's a big difference for you then, isn't that?
yeah,
Okay, I get you. Because I'm
yeah,
originally from Seattle. So being from Seattle, and then I moved from Seattle to Florida and from Florida here. So I'm like, those are drastic changes.
yes, yes, drastic, drastic. I've already told my husband I need to go back down south.
Uh-huh. Just for a moment at least. Or do you want to go back, period?
Um, Maybe. Well, our daughter is about to start fifth grade, so we
Okay.
said once she starts middle school, because they consider fifth grade middle school here, but once she starts sixth grade, we want to
Mhm.
stay until she finishes, goes off to college. Then
Okay.
we can look at moving again. So wherever we go next will be kind of semi-permanent,
Okay.
unless I
Understood.
don't like it. Be like, oh no, I want to move again.
Girl, you got all the control in the house. I hear it. I got you.
Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. Let's go.
I am not mad at that. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you just have that way of talking to hubby and saying, "Hey, baby, listen. Hello." My husband bald headed, so I just go rub his head and say, "Babe, listen. Hey," and I just rub on his little head, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, "I love you." I really
Yeah.
do mean that. Seriously, I do. But then there's just certain things you get a chance to do and just can
Mhm.
warm the cockles of his heart and get him.
Yes, yes. So every move we've made, it's been like it's been a job opportunity for my husband, and he's like, we won't go unless you want to go.
Oh
I'm just like,
wow.
I pressure.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, okay, well, we need to go to God because that's the first person.
Absolutely.
We not
Absolutely.
we're not going nowhere unless He wants us there.
Absolutely.
Um, so but I see all that to say, like, to just have peace with her being gone, that was a major thing for me.
Mhm.
And to understand that I did all that I could
Mhm.
for her while she was here.
Mhm.
Because for a while it really did bother me. I really did question a lot
Mhm.
of moves, a lot of decisions, a lot of things that happened.
Mm.
Um, would I have handled it differently if I had known this is all the time I had with her,
Mm.
because she passed away when I turned 33, my Jesus year. And I
Yeah.
was just like, oh yeah, 33. And it was,
Uh-huh.
oh, 33.
Wow, 33. Wait, 30. Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, I knew it was going to be impactful because, 33, but
33.
I didn't know it was going to be that impactful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm grateful. It sounds like you're moving on in peace. And it sounds like you're doing a whole heck of a lot better. Every day is not going to be smooth. We
Yeah.
all already know that. But it's the way that you're navigating. And it sounds like you never stay in that moment. So you give yourself grace to have that moment, but you're not staying there.
Yeah. And at
That's
first, I really struggled with even having that moment because I didn't want the kids to see me crying all the time. I
oh.
didn't want them to see, which I don't mind showing emotion,
Mhm.
but I was like really deep in grief and I didn't want that to sway on them.
Mhm.
So I really had to learn how to navigate that. I also had to learn how to navigate to let my husband know
Mhm.
that I was struggling at that moment because I would just be like, nope, I'm fine. I'm fine. What you need me
Mhm.
to do? Okay, kids, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I tried to keep myself busy
Yeah.
doing things, which is easy to do when you
Mhm.
got
Yeah.
multiple.
Uh-huh.
But then it would be those quiet moments when I was
Mhm.
by myself, when
Mhm.
I would just be in my thoughts and it
Mhm.
would just overwhelm me. And so, um, one of the things that I really learned to do, like I said, was to forgive myself, to stop being angry, and to journal. That was my big thing that I love to do.
That's big. Journaling
Yeah,
is big.
yeah. I actually came out with a journal. Of
Good
course, I don't
stuff.
have it with me now. um,
Come
I
on.
had it with me earlier, so I
Uh,
don't know what I did with it.
it's good.
Um, I came up with a journal. It's called the Map. It's called Maneuvering the Map, Maneuvering Life's Promise, Maneuvering Life's Journey to Achieve God's Promise.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
it's a 12-month prayer journal that I came up with, and it focuses on different topics that God said to focus on that month. So, such as trust, such as forgiveness, such as
Mhm.
love, such as
They're
patience,
big.
such as joy. And so each month, there's spaces for you to write,
Yeah.
but it also has a Bible scripture focusing in on that topic, and then
Mhm.
journal prompts because sometimes people say, "Oh, I don't know what to write about."
Right.
Or I don't want to seem like I'm complaining all the time. But you're really not complaining to God. Like you can never really truly complain to God. He wants to hear about it. Oh,
Uh-huh.
even down to you, oh, you stubbed your pinky toe on that bed right
I
there.
want to know.
Should
Mhm.
I shift the bed a little bit?
Uh-huh.
God, like He wants to know it all.
Mhm.
And so I have some prompts in there as well.
Mhm.
So it gives those people, the courage and kind of the confidence to know that I could talk to God about anything. And so,
And
yeah,
that's a major thing for us to be able to talk to him because even though he's all seeing and even though he already knows what's going on, it's the fact that you're opening up communication to say, hey, I stumped my toe. I know you've seen it, but I'm talking to you, telling you, hey, these are what's going on. It is a wonderful thing to be able to communicate and don't be like, oh, you've seen it, you know about it. No, let me
right.
talk to you about it. Like I
Yeah.
would never put that burden on my husband here in the house is I may feel some type of way and he may can look at me and see I'm sad, but I can't expect him to be a mind reader and to know what bothered me.
Hmm.
The onus is on me and it's my responsibility to say, hey, husband, you know what? I didn't get that deal that I wanted to today. I worked hard at it and that just, oh, I was working hard and I just didn't get it. The responsibility is on me for me to tell him to say, hey, these are they. And then he gets the opportunity to comfort me. Even
Hmm.
though God knows what's going on, still opening up, having conversations and telling him, hey, this is what's on my heart. And then he get the opportunity to say, oh, go on, lay down, sugar. Let me work out some stuff for you.
Yeah. That's
Amazing.
so true. It's about growing that intimacy with God. Like that's what it's about, like
Mhm.
growing deeper.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that kind of really started everything for me to even have a ministry was I told God I wanted to grow a deeper relationship with him. Now I should have been a little more specific on how I wanted to grow that.
Hello.
Yeah,
All the things
I've
we
learned
learn.
that. I've learned that. Be real specific. Okay, Lord, I want this is what I want. But it really kind of really started everything, like
Mhm.
being like telling him I wanted to grow a deeper relationship with him. So that
Mhm.
was praying more, actually knowing how to pray effectively,
Yeah.
fasting, what was the importance of fasting,
Uh-huh.
journaling, what was the importance of journaling, so you can have that evidence of
Mhm.
how God brought you through a situation when you're going through a new situation that,
Yeah.
oh, he's done it before and surely he will do it again. It just gives you the documents to kind of go back to, okay, he did this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I know he's going to do this too. Like
Mhm.
I know he is because he's done this. And sometimes you got to remind yourself. You
Yeah.
might forget because as you get older, sometimes you forget things. I know
That
I
memory lapse.
yes. So you can go back and look at what you wrote down about what he did for you last time. And so
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
it. Like I have a journal that I wrote on the whole time while my mom was like sick and going through her
Mhm.
decline in her health and him telling me to let go and like I have all that written down.
Yeah.
And so it's like a journal. It's a journal. It's a piece of me that I can always go back to when I'm
Mhm.
feeling discouraged, when I'm feeling
Yeah.
like I don't know how we're gonna make it out of this. I can see how he's made ways for me time and time again.
Uh-huh. But it's amazing when you're saying the journal because I have my own journal back there too. And I've written in journals, period, before I decided to do this here. But it's amazing when you start letting out your heart. And like we said before, you actually said that, like, I don't want to write it down. People will say, because it feels like I'm complaining. But sometimes in the process of you writing whatever is on your heart, you may not understand what you're writing in that moment. But when you get the opportunity to look back,
Mhm.
and man, I wrote that then. That then that you wrote maybe even 3 years ago can minister to your now and
Mhm.
help push you to where you need to go to. So for me, journaling is super important because it helps to excavate what's happening right now, but it also will minister to you in the later, right?
Yeah.
You need it.
Yeah.
So you're a faith-based coach and you support women. What was the driving force behind that?
So I think I always wanted to do some form of coaching, even before
Yeah.
I knew what coaching was. Like
Um,
even in fifth grade, I
yeah.
knew I wanted to go into psychology.
Mhm.
And so that's what I have my bachelor's in as in psychology. So
Mhm.
I wanted at first I thought I was going to be a school psychologist.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then I was like, oh, I don't want to do that much schooling. Then I
Uh-huh.
was like, oh, I'm gonna be a guidance counselor.
Uh-huh.
But then I stopped because I had my oldest, and
Okay.
then I was like, oh, maybe I'll deal with college students because I was working at a college institution at that time. And
Okay.
then what happened then? I think COVID happened.
Okay. Okay.
um, but all that to say that I've always done some form of coaching, some form of giving advice to others. Like even in fifth grade, my friends would be, talking about we don't know what we talk about. We were talking about our issues, and I would give some type of advice. It was
Uh-huh.
Holy Spirit led because it was good advice
Yeah.
from what
You've
I
been the
remember.
advice person from birth.
Yes. And so I've always given some type of advice. I've always coached. I wanted to encourage others. That's always been who I have been.
Mhm.
And so, when life coaching became,
The thing.
big on the scenes at the time,
Mhm.
at first I was like, I don't know if I want to.
Mhm.
Because at that time I was kind of focusing it on my business. I had a virtual assistant agency.
Okay.
Um, and I was like, no, Lord, I want to just focus on this right now. And he
Uh-huh.
was like, oh no, this is where I want you. And
Uh-huh.
so he
Uh-huh.
closed that completely down, shut it down. I mean, shut it down. um, and so he's like, no, you're going to focus on ministry. You're going to be coaching. You're going to be ministering. You're going to be doing these things. And so
Mhm.
I kind of just kicked it off this year, doing my coaching. And I love working with moms. I love working with wives.
Yeah.
But I feel a special part is me is for those moms who are dealing with the loss of their moms because I can totally relate on how they feel and how they're kind of trying to, especially if it's the early stages, like how to navigate those feelings, those thoughts, by but also still be present for your family that you've created. So
Makes
yeah.
sense. Well, I definitely, I'm telling you now, I'm putting you in my book of coaching. As far as I at least be able to, um, when you get ready to share with somebody, that's not my area of expertise, but I get an opportunity to refer. God, I don't
Yeah.
know why that word was so hard for me.
It's okay.
So I definitely have to put you in that referral process because hey, like, do I understand grief? Yes, my grandmother passed away, who for me was my mommy. Like,
Mhm.
still have my mom. Me and my mom are cool. Me and my mom are close, but there was a different kind of relationship that I had with my grandmother. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
so I grasped the concept of that, but as far that's not my thing. Now you talk about being a teenage mom, or at one point in time I was a single mom. Like, you talk to me about that. Oh yeah, baby, I got you. I'm gonna hold you down. Let's talk. Okay.
Yes.
Nobody gonna do life by themselves because I understand what it was like. I'm ready to go in with you. I'm gonna
Yes.
try to help pull you through. But as far as that, so I gotta put you on my Rolodex.
Yes, yes. Thank you. And I'm gonna put you in minds because, like you said, sometimes people like to take it all, but
Mm-hmm.
they're truly not being effective for that person. And so you have to know your strengths.
Have
I've
to.
never been a single mom. Me and my
Uh-huh.
husband have been
Mm-hmm.
together
Mm-hmm.
since the first one, and he's
Uh-huh.
he's my baby daddy for all of them.
Uh-huh. See, I know that's right.
So I don't understand. I can always empathize with a
Mm-hmm.
single parent mom,
Yeah.
but I've never been a single parent mom, and so
Yeah.
I can give advice and I can give encouragement, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't know those feelings,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
at those times when when it's just you and there's nobody to tag in so you can have a break. So I don't know
Uh-huh.
the feelings, and
Or
so
you got that person to tag you because my baby, they all had the same dad, but hey, yeah, I can't do that. Ministry calls, I can't do that. What? All right, don't even worry about it. So it's cool. So I mean, I get it, and that was something I also had to learn and navigate myself. Is because, like you said, sometimes as being a coach, therapist, preacher, teacher, whatever it is, you want to take everything on, and I always want everybody to come unto me. No, that's not where I thrive at. Going over there to somebody else, I can still be a part of your life, but I can't help you. This is how I help you become a better individual, by giving you to the person that can help you go through that. I'm
right,
not discounting Christ. That's not what I'm doing. But there are therapists, coaches, people down here that Christ used to help navigate us through these situations. So for me, I can't do that. I've been divorced before and I've been the single mom. So those are my areas. That's where I go through. So I appreciate you, Toots.
yes, yes,
I
yes.
really appreciate you. Tell me this: if there is one thing that you would like to leave with the hearts of individuals, all the listeners here, what would you leave with them?
I would leave with them that God sees you.
Mm,
God sees you. He knows what you're going through. He knows how you feel.
yeah.
He knows how you are feeling at that moment, like when you're going through an issue. And I feel like so many times the enemy will have us thinking that we're in this alone, that
Mhm.
no one else is dealing with it. But that's when you need to cry out to God. That's when
Mm,
you need to search and look for your community. That's when you need to go and search in your church community, or have a church if you don't have one,
mhm,
or look at one online. Like that's when you need to do all those things so you don't feel like you're carrying those burdens alone. And
mm,
so it's so many times, and there's so many people that are dealing with issues and challenges right now, and they feel that they're alone, like they're the only one dealing with that issue.
yeah.
But when you have that community, when you surrender truly that burden to God and don't pick it back up, because
Uh-huh.
we like to pick things back up, you leave it there and you don't pick it back up and you leave it for him.
Yeah.
That's when you start to get that peace. That's when you activate that faith because you're trusting and believing that he's going to do what he said he's going to do. So
Mm.
I just want to leave with them to know and encourage them to know that they are not alone.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Well, I can't say nothing after that outside of, well, grace and peace, y'all.